Let's go right into talking about Topps Chrome. I know Cody just did a great baseball podcast talking about Topps Chrome. But what are you seeing when you're looking at this checklist? I mean, what stands out? Obviously, the big names, Julio and Wander. But what other rookies do you think people can kind of gravitate towards in this set and chase?
I feel like we're all forgetting Bobby Witt right now. And I know he's on the Royals, and I know the Royals stink, but... And Bobby Witt has admittedly had some defensive problems this year. Probably not going to be a shortstop for long. Probably going to move over to third base. But he's got 20 homers. He's got 20 stolen bases. I know everyone's talking J-Rod, and rightfully so. He's incredible. But we have another 2020 rookie right now. It's tough because the Mariners are such an up-and-up team. There's so much positivity in Seattle about them. Might finally be going to the playoffs for the first time in 20 years. KC has been a directionless team since they won the World Series in 2015. That was a long time ago, it feels like, at this point. But Bobby Witt is a legit star-type player, and I do feel like we are kind of he is a little bit of an afterthought right now with Julio, with Wander even, who Wander's now back and healthy. But, yeah, don't forget that old Bobby Witt is sitting right there.
Now, is there somebody, I know he's easily in the top 5 of chaseable rookies in this one. Is there some guy that's maybe not on people's radar that, you may be wanting to collect out of the checklist? And it's a big checklist, guys. There's 102 rookie autos. So there's a lot of guys in the checklist, and there's probably some guys that are going to be hot next year that nobody's even thinking about.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad they included, I know he's a pitcher, but Spencer Strider's having such a good year for the Atlanta Braves. Really, really good. C.J. Abrams in there. Not really an unknown name, but since he got called up by the Nationals, since the Soto trade, has been really, really good defensively. He's just got to figure it out at the plate. But overall, I know that I think there has been a little bit of talk of where's Seiya Suzuki, where's Steven Kwan, where are these rookies that have been on Major League rosters since opening day, it should be mentioned.
Yep.
But I think overall, compared to the years past, this is a really strong rookie class for collectors. I have to take another look. I can't think off the top of my head of some other deep cut rookies. But I think it is a really good, really strong rookie
Probably
class
probably better than 20 and 2021, right?
Easily.
19 obviously had Tatis and Vlad and Alonso. So
and I'm assuming Abrams is on a Padres uni, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he'd be in the Padres in this set. Yeah.
And I do like the design. I mean, you can see that Wander here on the screen. It's a clean design, and that's what I was trying to make the point last week when I was anti-2023 design, which I may come around. Who knows? But where are you going to sign on that card? I mean, halfway through the card. But see, this design leans really well to where the auto is going to be placed.
I think they'll figure it out.
They might.
The card is the same size.
It is, but the auto is going to be placed a little bit higher, so it's aesthetically going to look nice. I don't know. I got to see.
Man, okay. Well,
that's card snob. I'm like a wine card snob.
The Chrome, same as Series 1 and Series 2. It's got borders. I like it. It's going to have color. It's going to be good. I do like the fact there's 102.
You really
put
a lot of thought into that
man,
one.
Absolutely. Because it's not like this is the first time we've ever seen Topps Chrome.
Dude,
actually,
exciting.
It's not the first time we've talked about Topps Chrome on this show. Probably 10 years of Topps Chrome easily that we've talked about. Yeah, we're reinventing the wheel, it looks like. I've never seen anything quite like it, Doug.
And actually, Topps Chrome is they've switched. Bowman Chrome's been HTA. They've had vending. Topps Chrome has never changed. It's been hobby and it's been jumbo. I mean, they didn't always have jumbo.
Jumbo's new. It used to be. Remember when it was just hobby?
Yeah, but new from 14. I mean, so it's been almost 10 years of having jumbo and Chrome.
That's new. That's new to us.
New is Sapphire, which that's another.
And there probably will be a Topps Chrome Sapphire.
There will 100%. Now. Sapphire seems to be I know, F1 does well, but I feel like Sapphire was the offering in the parallel era, and we're kind of past that now in a sense. We'll see what Sapphire does.
I do think the Sapphire design does look really good.
It does, but
I don't know if it's ever going to truly catch on because again, you're right. It's we may have passed that parallel era of collecting,
but it feels like the Sapphire brand. Or the specific SKU in parallel does well with not just baseball but off-brand stuff.
You want different
like
configurations.
Star Wars and stuff like that.
Like it seems like Sapphire is a very popular parallel to get for these other besides non-baseball.
Sapphire Jumbo coming out.
But
could be
there. And then if I recall, there was the 1 year. So they started Sapphire when it was blue refractor ice,
Atomic,
and then 1 year Atomic, and then the year after it wasn't blue anymore.
No.
There was 1 year there where it wasn't blue. It was just called Sapphire.
Yeah.
But it was just an Atomic, and you could get different color parallels.
Yeah,
which was weird. And then they came to their senses and went back to blue.
But would you rather have the refractor or the Sapphire base? You know what I mean? I think I'd rather have the refractor personally.
I actually think maybe for like the monetary value, the regular refractor. But but
I don't think they perform as much as the Sapphire.
For the look,
I don't think so.
For the look, I'm going Sapphire. Atomic, man. It's like it's their version. It's their version of Panini's.
Cracked ice.
Well,
what have we had Sapphire for like 4 years? We've had Sapphire for 4 years. I don't think they had it in 18, right? I know 19 they had it.
The first year they did Sapphire felt like it was like something like that around that time.
Yeah,
19,
so it's
19.
become a staple now.
19 maybe. It's definitely.
I know there's definitely Tatis Sapphires for sure. So I know. I just can't remember 18 going back to 18 if there was Ohtani.
And I think we've done. I mean, Sapphire has been like Bowman Draft,
Topps Chrome, Update Chrome Sapphire,
Update Chrome,
Bowman Chrome.
They didn't do Bowman Chrome Sapphire, did they? Yeah. Well, so now it's Sapphire everything.
Right. So they take that whole set and they do it all Sapphire. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying is, I mean, you kind of, I like Sapphire too, but like I like refractors. So it's like at some point we're kind of muddling it up, but you're safe buying the Topps Chrome regular release, I feel, as far as in terms of long-term value, because that is the flagship. That ain't going anywhere. I think Sapphire would go first.
I do like the idea of cutting some of the rookie autos out. I think last year we had like 120, which seemed like too much.
Yeah.
I think hovering around that 100 subjects.
Yeah, 107 to be precise.
Okay.
I think it's too much still.
It's too much. I'd like to see like
60 to 80?
No, I mean, I think 100 max, but maybe 80.
But some of these guys didn't even play. I mean, like...
Yeah, there's a few names in there. I just kind of double checked the list right now. A couple of guys that kind of jumped out at me. One, kind of to your point, a guy that hasn't played much. He did get into the major leagues this year. Royce Lewis, big prospect name, is out the entire year with injury. Has been out since like end of May.
Yep.
But his auto is in here. Elliot Ramos for the Giants. His rookie auto is in here, and he's played maybe 10, 15 games.
How much does Sammy Long play? I should know this, but I don't.
He's been up enough that I feel like it's not that crazy that he's getting a rookie card. But again, when you're, I feel for Cubs and Guardians fans who are like, I've literally had this rookie on. I've been circling the calendar, because they've been on the opening day roster. The Seiya Suzuki one is weird to me. I know he signed super late, and with the lockout and all that, like Topps wanted to wait. I'm assuming he's gonna be an update Chrome, but we haven't even gotten a base rookie card of Seiya Suzuki to this point. So
he has an autograph in the set?
No auto. There's nothing. There is nothing of Seiya Suzuki.
I mean, unless they printed this well before the start of the season.
Do they hold him out for Bowman, like 2023 Bowman?
I think he's a guy
and like have it like a rookie.
I mean, he
like
was
a rookie auto in Bowman.
He was a pretty hyped name when he got signed by the Cubs. It's just very strange that they're holding out. He's a Cubs rookie, and they've had in Topps now. They've had rookie cards of Seiya Suzuki in Topps now. So I don't really know what the holdup is at this point. I'm assuming we're going to see him in Update Chrome, but
I know. Shout out to Ivan. I know he's been asking on Twitter for
where's
a
Seiya?
long time.
Where is Seiya?
And especially after losing pretty much everybody on your team, and then you have somebody to look forward to, and then you can't even get a card of them.
Yeah.
So
I will say a few other names that jumped out to me. Alec Thomas of the Diamondbacks. His auto is in here. He's been pretty good since he got called up. Diamondbacks in general are just like one of the hottest teams in baseball right now. If you hadn't been paying attention, it's kind of strange. Bryson Stott of the Phillies. His auto's in here. Big prospect name. That might be a guy that I think a lot of people are going to go after. Hunter Green, I also think is going to be a really interesting one. It's the first time we're seeing him. Could he be? I feel like for pitchers,
Is he a pitcher now?
he is. He is officially a pitcher. He's been up almost the whole season. A wild year. Like at times looks like, oh man, this guy's gonna just dominate the league, hitting 101 on the radar gun, but also has given up 5-6 runs a game and walking a lot of guys. He is a wild thing for sure.
Unpolished, yeah.
Yeah, super raw, but I think he's a guy that could buck the trend of pitchers. I think the fact that you have him, you have Spencer Strider, you have George Kirby, on top of already a very strong hitter class, I think it could bump up some of those pitchers because all three of those pitchers I mentioned, especially Kirby and Strider, are those guys Rookie of the Year contenders for sure.
And we do actually have a special price at mojobreakshop.com for jumbo at $5.99 now, guys. If you want to get a jumbo box at mojobreakshop.com, you don't want to get into a break. You just want a box to yourself, and maybe even a scenario where you buy it and you hold on to it. I mean, if you think Julio Rodriguez is going to be the next whoever, the next big name in baseball, might be a situation where you buy a box and sit on it for a little bit.
Yeah.
Don't open it. I know that's hard to do. I don't know who can actually have it. You'd have to put it in your storage or something. But if it's if it's right in front of your face,
it's
going to be ripping that.
Really hard to hit some Julio in this product. So
that's gonna make his cards command a premium.
They should. If you hit one, you should hold out for a premium because they're going to be short printed.
Yeah.
Even some of his Bowman Best like autos were going for. I was bidding on one last night. It was like $800-900 for a Bowman's Best auto. So there's definitely a lot of hype around him. It's great timing.
He's the new wave.
He's the guy.
He's the guy that everybody is like, he's the next greatest to ever do it.
25 homers, 25 stolen bases. I think they said like the
How many home runs does Aaron Judge have now?
57.
Okay.
57.
He only needs, 4 more?
To break
the American League record.
American League record.
American League record.
I don't know
Roger
what that
Maris's.
record's all about, but...
So
Well, and I actually hope. I'm sorry. It's good for baseball for him to get past that, but I just know the narrative. I'm a Bonds guy, and I know the narrative. If he beats Maris, then he's going to be the new home run king. The Bonds and the Sosa and the McGuire records don't matter.
No PEDs.
What if Bonds or McGuire were
Come back?
on the Yankees?
Then it would be a different. Well, it's still if it was PEDs, there'd be like it doesn't count.
Jason Giambi was a Yankee. He didn't get it. But I will say,
And A-Rod.
Well, there's been a really, really good debate on Twitter regarding Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani and who is going to be the AL MVP. Ohtani's doing something that we've never seen it
Ever.
again. Like every year, Ohtani's doing something that we've never seen in the history of baseball. Then you may have Aaron Judge be the all-time home run leader in the AL. I'm not going to say
no.
I think it's clearly Judge just because the team is winning. The team, his contributions are attributing to wins in the category. They're the number one team.
Well,
in the AL.
if the Angels can get some help around Ohtani, then the same thing.
Trout's
would happen.
second in the league in home runs.
Well, it can't. Team is more than two people.
So did you know? I've been saying this to me. What's almost as remarkable as what Ohtani and Judge are doing. Is that Trout is about 20 home runs behind in second place for home runs with I think 34-35, and he's only played 100 games. He's gonna miss like 50 games of the season and finish second in the league in home runs. And the Angels just by the way clinched their seventh.
Those American League balls
season.
Might be juiced.
Yeah,
Bro,
that's right.
In baseball, I don't get it. You got like two outstanding players, the Angels, and they can't even walk into the playoffs.
If you look at the rest of that lineup, it's Trout, Ohtani, and then just a bag of chips and some spare parts. Basically.
Well, Anthony Rendon was.
He's hurt. If he was in the lineup, I would not say that, but he's hurt.
An expensive bag of chips.
Again, he's not the bag of chips in this scenario. Unfortunately, our good friend Matt Duffy, former Giant, is unfortunately
he's on their team.
Yeah, if he's a bag of chips, like he's like a solid
Man, that is a good trivia question. I would have never thought Matt Duffy was in the league, let alone is he starting for the Angels?
He is the starting second baseman for the Angels. I feel like that should kind of tell you why. I love Matt Duffy. Love Scooter the cat, or was that the cat's name? I don't remember. The big old cat. You guys remember that?
I think you're making stuff up.
I'm not. He had a humongous cat. That's all I'm going to say.
Do they have Pedro Feliz at third base too? Or?
Yep. Pete Happy is the third baseman.
And Brian Bocock shortstop.
Darren, a 57-year-old Darren Erstad is still manning center. Is in left field.
That's awesome.
And they are. Definitely out of it. I think they're in third place.
Well, I was saying
today
they actually clinched their 7th straight losing season, which is the longest streak in
and
all
they
baseball.
and they fired they fired Madden
Fired Joe Madden
early in the season.
after they had lost about 14 straight at that point. He came to the ballpark sporting a mohawk to try to rally the troops. Sorry, Joe. Can you come into the office with that fresh mohawk? You're fired. Whoops.
What if he just went home and shaved it?
Dude, to me, and I know I'm probably might get flamed by baseball collectors and stuff, but to me, it's like to like compare it to basketball. Like if LeBron James never won anything, but his cards are the craziest price. Because during the regular season, he has good stats or whatever, but he never won like an MVP or like he never won a not an MVP. But
right now with Ohtani and Trout, it's like having LeBron and Curry on the same team, and then they're just not winning.
Is Trout the equivalent of like Russell Westbrook?
No. I don't know.
Like his cards are so expensive.
I know.
If he's anyone, and I know he's not as last year, he kind of fell off a little bit, but he's still a good player. James Harden, a guy who's an MVP caliber guy at his peak. Say what you want about the style of his game, but at James Harden's peak, one of the top 2 or 3 players in all of basketball at his peak, and just can't put it together.
He's like Damian. Trout's like Damian Lillard.
It's better than that.
It depends on how you look at Harden. Like I get it. Like Harden was a very like great offensive player.
It's not a perfect comparison.
Yeah, but like, dude, his Trout's like it's like that. It's like Trout, LeBron. Like their prices are like.
If Trout is anyone, he's Dan Marino. That's what he is.
True.
Racking up stats, setting new records.
But Dan Marino went to the Super Bowl.
He did.
Trout has
and I
played
get it.
one game.
Yeah. I get it.
Game.
Baseball, like the
Dan Marino was in a lot of playoff games too.
He
like,
was. So again, not a perfect.
Yeah, I know. I get it. Like baseball, World Series wins don't count as much in baseball. Like it really doesn't add to a player's.
It doesn't hurt though.
It doesn't
I will tell you, it definitely is a crutch. When you're talking about that certain player and they haven't won, it seems like it's more important that they haven't won than other players who have won.
But it is true that we kind of pick and choose which players that affects in the hobby. Like I would argue, Jeter does not have nearly the value that he has in trading cards if he's not
because he can't stop signing.
Yeah, there's
He's
that.
Just running around. He's like, I'll sign everything.
Another Jeter event.
But if he does not have a single World Series championship, he is basically. I'm gonna get flamed.
Robbie Thompson.
He's Harold Baines. He's Ryan Sandberg. Like that's what it is. Like it's nice, but okay.
That's the captain, man. That's the captain.
He won 5 championships. So it's not that. I just want to be clear. Sorry, Yankee fans, don't hate me.
Does Derek Jeter sign more than Trout? I don't feel like it. I feel like they signed the same amount.
Well, when Trout retires, I don't know. He's gonna be signing a lot.
You know, there's gonna be like the Trout collection.
The Trout transcendent parties that come out every year.
There will be. We will get a Trout. What we got with Jeter. We're getting a Trout.
I feel like
10 years from now.
doing a lot of baseball breaks, obviously throughout the year.
There's already been a Trout transcendent,
right?
Yeah, there has.
But I could
not
see
by himself.
But I could see there being a Trout release.
It's all Trouts
every year. All
easily. But I was saying like the amount of baseball breaks that I do, I feel like I hit them the same amount from various products.
Yeah.
Well, Trout.
Well, he'll sign like 20 or 30 autos.
He's in every. But and I mean he's in everything, right? I don't know if there is a product in the last like decade that he hasn't been. He may have been a redemptions in it, but he's been pretty much in everything. And you talk about like flagship all the way up to like the highest end product you can find. He's in them all.
And that's actually what's great about it, because if you have a bad Bowman Chrome release, you're like, well, you can hit a Trout. You know, I mean, how many times has that been said in the shop? Like, oh yeah, who's in this? Oh, there's not a lot of great prospects, but you can hit a Trout.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, that's always been a good thing. It's actually amazing his market's still pretty high on all those too.
It's actually the only. It's one of those phrases that you say a lot. Like,
well, you can hit a Trout.
I mean, you can hit a Trout.
Imagine you being able to hit a LeBron auto in like a hoops.
I know, exactly, right? Yeah, and he never Trout's very rarely a redemption as well.
That boy signed.
It seems like he was a redemption 5, 6, 7 years ago more than he is now.
Well, because he signed the deal with Topps, so it's like, lifetime deal, and I'm sure the
lifetime deal, every product.
That's right, every single product.
I mean, I would like. I think it's too late now, but when our next group of superstars that we have come up, maybe we don't put them in every release. Maybe we do hold them back. Let's do this little scarcity thing that like actually adds value to the auto, because Trout does sell for a lot more than he probably should based on how many autos and how many sets he's in.
That's what I'm saying. Like I feel like I hit the same amount of Trouts that I hit Jeter in every product. But Trout obviously sells for more than Jeter. But I always hold those two guys, like when I hit either of those two guys, then I feel like or Jeter, Trout, and Griffey. Like when I hit those three, I feel like I got a big baseball hit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with them putting him in there if he's still playing. I feel like the retired guys, some of the retired guys are just worn out. I think once you retire, you should be skipped.
Who do you, Jose Canseco?
Oh, Jose.
Oh, I love his auto. Yeah, let's go.
McGuire.
doesn't
but they be putting him on St. Louis sometimes. It's terrible.
Like,
I don't know why you put McGuire on St. Louis.
John Smoltz, Maddox. I mean, all these guys sign a lot. You see them in every transcendence.
Aforementioned Ryan Sandberg. I feel like I pull Ryan Sandberg more than any other former Hall of Fame guy. Yeah.
Sandberg. What Hall of Fame guy do I pull the most of?
I mean,
Dawson.
Canseco.
Yeah.
Canseco is like,
he signs a lot.
Canseco's in everything.
And he's in archives too. But
Well, there's one guy. He's not a Hall of Fame guy, and it's not out of baseball products, but a lot of Pete Rose. A lot of Pete Rose.
A lot of Leaf Pete Rose out there too.
Yeah.
Well, you could buy there at one point. I remember, which is probably a great deal now. There was the Pete Rose blasters that were in Target, and it was a guaranteed auto for $20. So there was a couple base cards and one guaranteed auto of Pete Rose for $20.
I mean, you couldn't go get Pete Rose to sign a baseball card in Vegas for $20, right?
True.
Well,
maybe 30, but
yeah, right. Blackjack chip or two.
Chip in for a bet on the ponies, you know. Yeah. Then it's like, now we're talking.
you want to go hang out at the sports book?
Oh, he would.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
Well, we alluded to some basketball talk, and let's talk Skybox Metal Universe, which is a multi-sport product, but highlighted by two key players in here. One really key player, Michael Jordan, being not only an auto to chase, but PMGs are back. And as you know, the PMGs really are crazy in this hobby, and they're very coveted.
Extremely
hard
crazy.
to grade. And the retro PMGs that are in this set, what they did is they did the same thing that they did back in the day, where there's 100 of them. The first 10 are green, and the last 90 are red. The reds are worth a lot too.
Well, if you look at the checklist, and Chris brought this up to me, one of our customers, there's other colored PMGs,
But not in the retro version.
not in the retro.
Right. So the inserts, they have a green to 10, only to 10. They have a purple 101. They have, I think, red to 100, and they have all the different colors. But those are the Jordan on the screen is the retro one. So
How many
those
names on the
only
retro
have the
list?
true. I'm not sure if we want to pull that up, but they have only the true. They only have 100 of them.
Okay.
So there's
Great.
base, and then there's 100, and
Okay.
90 of them are red, and 10 of
Yeah.
them are green.
Great.
That's going to be the ones.
That's what I like to hear, because I was like, oh god, like all these, like there's like 5 different PMG parallels if you look at the checklist.
Yeah, there was some insert set that he pulled that was like number to 75. It was one of the colored PMGs, but it wasn't the original. I didn't see him pull a retro PMG. We know Michael Jordan's on the checklist. We know LeBron's on that checklist, I believe, for PMGs. Gretzky.
Well, if you get the Jordan one of the 100 PMGs, that's could be one of the biggest hits of the year.
Do we think it's a 6-figure card?
I'm not gonna say it's a 6-figure card, but I know.
Let's just start with the greens, right?
Oh.
The number to 10s.
Yes.
That's a 6-figure card.
Yes.
In a Scottie Pippen jersey.
Yes, absolutely. Because I was around when they did the last round of PMGs, which was 2012 and 2013. They did 2 years of a product called Fleer Retro.
Yep.
yep, I remember that.
Huge. 12-13 was huge.
Yeah, it went to like $2,500 a box.
Wasn't as huge.
Right.
Like it actually went down for a little bit. But if you try to look up those boxes now, they're nearly $10,000 a box.
I remember them sitting on GTSs. Like, I mean, they were pricey, but GTS, I had them for a long time.
They did.
It was readily available if you wanted to spend the money.
And if you try to buy those ones of LeBron, and those were there in college uniform in St. Vincent Mary, like, you know, LeBron's high school uniforms. So those are like still pretty sought after. So this release specifically, Those PMGs. I don't know. Does LeBron have a PMG or is it just Jordan?
I don't know. I know obviously
I'm
he has,
looking right
he has a
now.
jambalaya. Of course.
I know he has a jambalaya in street clothes, but
So you want to look at the retro PMG checklist. Mm-hmm. So it'd be the 97 and 98. I know he's just wearing the white shirt. At least they got a picture of Michael Jordan, not old, and in a basketball uniform.
Yeah.
I applaud them for that.
I respect that. Regardless,
It blows my mind that, I mean, an unlicensed product, parallels, non-autos, are going to sell for as much as you're talking about, six figures. I mean,
yeah. Kudos to Upper Deck for creating.
no,
this
I
brand,
mean, yeah,
you know?
I'm all about it. I think it's great, but it's crazy. It's nuts.
I mean, if you think about it, it was the hobby that
I
It's
mean,
always
we are riding. PMG's got. I mean, it's like they were always very, very popular. But it wasn't until like, I would say 2 years ago, like people really started going back and like really trying to find PMGs.
Well,
and I think this is coming out at the perfect time because you couldn't, unless you went back and got some of that older products, you couldn't get any PMGs. Now this is the first like modern day PMG you can get.
like, and you got to think, when is the next time they're gonna do this? Like they take
Well,
it was 13, 14 since they did it the last time.
Yeah, I mean,
and it's not like
depends
you would
on,
think
depends
you
on
would,
how well it does. I
no,
mean,
because I mean they were doing pretty well with putting out Jordan and LeBron products still even back in 2013, 14, but they just stopped. They just like completely stopped. So
I'm trying to look up some data on some of the older PMGs if I could pull it up on our friends at
From what
Carlisle.
I can find, yeah, LeBron's in here as PMG.
oh wow, okay, but it's street clothes.
So a 97, this is a recent sale, 97, 98, which is the one you want. Red PMG Michael Jordan, so 79 of 100. So if it was green, it would be under 10. And it goes by the serial number. So the serial number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 are
Would be green.
And then 11 through 100 are red. So BGS 7 sold for $450,000.
7.
Of a red Jordan PMG.
Yeah, and
I didn't see the K after that.
I remember
Also, $450 is not that expensive.
when the
But
12,
I didn't see that.
when the 12-13 Fleer Retro came out in 2012, I was blown away because those prices were crazy for the times. Like those Jordan.
Well, didn't they also have 13-14 Fleer Retro?
Yes, they did, and that's the one I just said. Like that one actually went down in price.
And that had Giannis.
That had a Giannis, and that actually went down in price, and it didn't go back up until Giannis blew up.
Oh yeah, he was in. So did he had PMGs? Does he have PMGs in there?
I believe.
And I remember the year before had Draymond.
I want to say. I want to say.
too,
Curry, I want to say
13.
13-14. Curry may have had PMGs.
Yeah. If you guys want the list, I've got the retro list in front of me right now. Michael Jordan, Allen Iverson, Coco Gauff, Zach Wilson, Colin Morikawa, Chloe Kim, Scotty Barnes is in there, Jonathan Kuminga, Justin Fields, Naomi Osaka, Josh Giddey, Franz Wagner, Wayne Gretzky, Ken Griffey Jr. I think I saw Griffey actually pulled already, a red Griffey PMG pulled. Tiger Woods is probably going to be a huge one. Trevor Lawrence. Who else we got?
And this is the retro.
This is the
subset.
retro. This
So
is
the one
retro.
on the left side.
All
Yeah,
right, what-
Trey Lance,
I-
Mac Jones.
How many
Jalen Green.
how many boxes is it going to take to get one of these
Oof,
retro?
Yeah.
And how many are on the subject? Does it show you how many actual PMG retro cards? How many number of those?
I believe there are 50.
Okay.
50 of them in this.
So
set.
there's only 50 times 100.
Yeah, and of course LeBron in here as well as in there for the retro PMG.
So 5,000.
Yeah, 5,000 of them out there.
So one per case.
no.
5,000.
Maybe more than 5,000
5,000.
cases.
5. Well,
Maybe a master case.
that was master case.
But they also, I believe it's coming to EPAC as well. So I don't know.
One in every 5 cases.
It's gonna be tough.
100 cases.
I believe it's 1 in 5 is what I'm saying. Right
1 in
now.
5?
Yeah, 1 in 5.
But it makes sense because when like
But
people love these cards,
but there's other PMGs in there.
Yes.
yes,
Like-
those are the numbered ones.
Yeah.
that are not the Fleer. That are
Yeah,
not the
what
retro.
is, what
set.
is that one highlighted by? What's that one called? I believe it's called the...
I think it's just base PMG is what it's called, but I have to double check.
I think it's on the right side of that checklist. If you're on Cardboard Connection, it's on the right side that kind of
I'll
highlights.
have to look. I was on.
I need to see this jambalaya in person because I love the original jambalaya insert die cuts,
Yeah.
but I gotta see this in person because like these guys are in their street clothes in this product, so I gotta see if it looks still as nice as the '90s insert.
Well, let's just
them in pro uniforms.
Let's talk theoretically, right? So we just saw that Jordan Red sold for $450,000 from the '97-'98.
Yeah.
So what does a Jordan Red from this sell for? What's your prediction?
5 to 10.
Yeah.
$1,000?
Yeah.
Okay. You think it's that significantly down?
Yeah. I maybe 10 grand.
Because, like I was just mentioning before,
then what does a green sell for? 100, just over 100?
I would say like close to
80.
6, close to 100.
80.
I think you guys.
I'm not gonna say exactly 100, but I think it's gonna get close.
I'm saying 50,000 for a red, and I'm saying like $500,000.
50 for a red.
Wow.
Yeah. For
I think-
green.
Okay.
I think you're high.
Maybe my 5 to 10 is low. I will agree with that. But I don't know if it's gonna hit 50, man.
Because you got to figure there's 50 guys on the checklist. You got to hit the Jordan. It's 1 in 5 cases.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
If 5 cases times, if it's probably a Jordan, and what's that? 1 in 250 cases, you get a Jordan.
Yeah. Okay.
That's my prediction. But yes, he's not in a Bulls uni.
5 to 10 is okay. My 5 to 10, my prediction is low. I'm not sure if it's gonna hit 50 though. I'll go in the middle, like more like 20 something.
And then what I do like about it, if you go on Cardboard Connection, they have the actual, and I'm sure this is on Upper Deck too. They have the odds of the autos. So Michael Jordan, I think, is like 1 in 29,000 packs to get a Michael Jordan auto.
So if you're saying a green goes for $500,000, you can buy a 97-98 Skybox original with him in his Bulls jersey.
No, you can't. I just showed you a red.
450.
No, that's a red.
I know.
I'm talking about green.
I'm saying you can get a red for the same price as what you're saying the green can go. What would you prefer? I'd prefer the red of him in the Bulls uni than a green and him in the Scottie Pippen uni. I mean,
300,000 then.
Okay.
Go a little down.
I agree. I would rather have the original red. But the thing about the greens is that, boy, like, the original ones never pop. Obviously, there's only. They literally never pop
I think the
up.
greens can go. I think it can hit close to 100,000, but I think if anybody's willing to spend that type of money,
Dude, the greens never pop up. Ever pop up.
I'm trying to see if there's any greens. Look, yeah, just even a.
I think it's. I want to say it's.
Probably looking
It's.
at a
I think.
marble green
I
or
want to say it's well over.
Look at this. This is a Tim. Let's see if Cody gets that price.
All right. I'm in, finally.
97-98, so the year you want. Precious Metal Gems, Tim Hardaway. Graded 7, pop 2. Tim Hardaway, late in his career on the Heat. What do you think it sold for?
Oh my God, Tim Hardaway. Oh God, I feel like
Green PMG to 10.
It's a green PMG.
And these obviously do not grade well. I'm
They do
curious.
not.
I'm curious to see if the new ones
do,
grade
yeah.
better.
I don't know. See, I'm way off. I'll probably be way off base here, but I'll say I don't know. 70K.
Oh, well,
Is that
you're a little
crazy?
high.
A little high?
28,000.
28K. Okay.
28K for Tim Hardaway. 81,000 for Tim Duncan.
That's one of those.
Okay, that
yeah.
makes way more sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I was like, I wasn't sure exactly where the market was on that.
There really is no wrong answer with the guess on that one.
No,
it could be anywhere.
There isn't, 100%. But that just goes to show you that Tim Hardaway, on the almost the end
That's
of his career,
insane. Yeah.
$28,000, but just because it's green. I want to know how much those boxes. I mean, does anybody know? Comment below on the video if you bought boxes of that 97-98. I mean, they had to be like only a couple $100, right?
I think it was probably like 120, 150 bucks, maybe $100.
God.
No more than 100, 150, yeah.
No, it's got to be right. And greens are probably really hard to hit, but you're probably getting a red in every box, right? I mean,
Just to think, could have just been going out.
Wait, is Steph Curry on
buying
the checklist
boxes.
you said?
No Steph.
I would love to have a Steph
No
PMG.
Steph. No Steph.
I know he was in the 12-13 Flair Retro or 13-14.
really?
Yeah.
He had PMGs in that?
I don't know if he had PMGs, but he was on the checklist of that product.
Wow.
I mean, it's a really good. There's a few weak cards, but I'd say more than half of these are like really good subjects.
That's the reason,
for the
like,
PMGs.
I mean, the sticker price on those boxes are shocking, but when you understand how sought after those PMGs
Yeah,
are,
no kidding.
then you start to understand, like, okay, that makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah, and I know Greg actually, it sounded like he hit a PMG of something. I heard PMG yelling in the other room, so we'll have to find that out after the show what he hit. But, like, I know this morning he hit 2 non-retro PMGs in a box.
Yeah.
numbered ones.
Yeah,
So-
I believe there's 150 of the non-retro, 50 of the retro.
Okay. That makes sense. All right, last topic of this week in the hobby. We've got more grading companies. That's what we need. We need more grading companies. Derek Jeter throws his company into the hat. Also teamed up with a guy that owns the Honest Company, and I believe another investor in the mix from another company.
Say the Honest Company?
Yes,
Or the
not Jessica Alba, but her partner is invested into
their stock has not done well.
Okay. Well, they moved some of that money into the Arena Club.
Probably a good move.
Yeah, no, the CEO of this company is the co-founder and former CEO of LegalZoom and also of Honest.
Got you. Okay, so it's the same guy had investments.
As I
involved.
looked at the board and the people a part of it, I went, not a single person here. I mean, maybe I need to dig a little deeper. Not a single person had card experience. No experience in this world. So they kind of needed to get a guy like Derek Jeter to give him some sort of credibility. That's what I'm imagining.
And is this Arena?
Arena. Yep. And this is
Club.
a kind of a look at their slabs there. Instant reaction from you too. I mean, Cody already saw.
Okay, so the two grading on the top, it looks better than SGC.
Does it though?
Just the numbering part. Just the numbering part.
The
way
case,
the way they have the numbers.
case looks different. Looks like it has like
But
a
everything
weird,
else, I
looks like
dislike.
it has like a weird lip on the top.
It's rounded more so like your CSGs.
Because the CSG, like, I do not like when they have the card grade and the auto grade next to each other. I think
yeah.
it looks
We have,
Well, that's what they did too.
We've gone into like
The 90s?
the 90s,
Yeah.
like where I should bring in some of my old slabs. It's just a bunch of companies that you've never even heard of that were just grading cards. We are there. Like we've done it. We've made it.
But with a lot more money invested in these companies.
Better looking slabs, I guess.
Well,
I mean,
you would hope so.
Yeah,
From the
but,
90s.
I also hate. I also really. I'm not gonna say hate. I really strongly dislike their logo.
What
Who?
Arena logo.
Really?
what are we doing with all these new grading companies that's separating them from the pack? Like
It doesn't seem
it
like
doesn't.
anything.
It's just like, what are you guys doing different? Our labels. Okay.
I think their big thing is going to be because we don't see the back here.
Is Derek Jeter single-handedly
Derek Jeter-
is he the one grading the cards?
Yeah.
Correct.
Is he
This
on
is-
the assembly line?
gonna deliver
Inspired
me.
by Master P grading, Derek Jeter will grade your cards
And he
personally.
signs the back of it.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, yeah. I don't.
They
I don't know.
they have the QR code on the back that I know, Doug, at the Burbank show you ran into a grader, a grading company, tag grading company that was doing sort of that's doing the same thing where you scan it and suddenly you get all your info on the card, which is a cool thing, but it also kind of feels like, okay, so they're doing this, but then like probably Beckett and PSA are going to do it. And then it's like, then what's the point of these guys?
Hey man, let me
know?
tell you something about them QR codes. One of our customer, Duck, he made me a 6.5 Conrad slab 2 years ago. It had a QR code on the back that goes directly to my social media account.
Dude, ahead of the game.
Head of the game.
Shout out to Duck. He's ahead of the game.
Way ahead of the game.
6.5.
Yeah. I mean, what do we? When are we gonna not see new?
I mean, I
grading
just
companies is what
I feel bad for people that are getting in the hobby and then like they've been told that this is good, but then maybe there's a segment of friends that are only grading this way, and it's like that it'll also allows other companies that aren't backed by Jeter to like Mamba grading to come in and like, well, you know, they look legit too. Like it's just a lot of customer confusion.
There is, and doing the show circuit now, and you've been doing a handful of shows. Like you look at showcases, and you're seeing a lot of these like
HGA.
HGA is like almost
Oh,
in
God.
everybody's case, and I'm like, I get it.
Please.
It is in case. It's encapsulated, but like. You can't really think that that's adding value to the card, right? Like you just at that point you just want to break it out and sell it raw.
It's
Yeah.
almost to the point of the people, because I've been, like ever since I've been back in the hobby and starting 2012, there's always been a segment, a group of people in the hobby that are like, grading is dumb. Like
Yeah.
we just give me the raw card. Like I like my cards. Like I don't. Grading is just
That apparently is not the clientele that these people are going after. But the clientele that what they're seeing is the top dogs in the industry, PSA and Beckett, are so backlogged still that it just opened up the floodgates for everybody to essentially do the same exact thing.
Well, you're basically
with really no checks and balances.
You're offering a service and you're making X amount of dollars per service you do.
And there's just a mass of clientele just begging for this service. So that's why you see so many of these grading companies popping up. But in 10 years, unfortunately, there's probably only going to be Beckett and PSA.
What I think is happening is that it's all these backlogs of people who got in the hobby and didn't know, like, you probably should sell, where I think we talked about it, where it's like, don't send this card, like, 75% of your collection. You don't need to send it all in to go get graded. You just don't. No. So, but instead of maybe people learning, okay, maybe I'll just hold those things and really save, like, the
dude, in 2020, you send all your cards in and it just comes back with just like a suitcase full of money.
That's true.
Because you were just every time you went and got no matter what you had, if it came back and it was graded, it was worth 5 times more than what it was before you sent it.
Right. But you can make the argument it's because it has that PSA, that BGS label, these reputable grading company labels, but now it's going to have Arena, HGA, all these things where you're like, who are you? What are you doing?
Is this
here?
Noxx?
Yeah, what is Noxx? Explain it. I know you
that's kind of its own
I
thing.
feel like we're not doing our due diligence. The slide's there, and we're about ready to move on. There's Noxx here. I'm like, let's talk about him.
I was gonna, and I'll let you get to that. But Beyonce is no. I'm kidding. The Arena Club with Derek Jeter attached to it. I feel like there could be a play with Fanatics here too. I just wanted to mention that.
That's the thing is like you're right. What we're saying right now is like we're like, why is this here? What's it doing? None of it will matter if one of the big players says, "Oh yeah, the whole reason Jeter's here is because he's going to partner with Fanatics." Or
I'm still with the belief that Fanatics is gonna go with CSG, the one that grades the eBay, does the eBay.
Yeah, but I think you're trying to crack into eBay now. Where if they have something like this, it might be cheaper.
You don't think they would go after the big, like one of the big two?
Probably. They gotta get stuff at a reasonable price, right? They got to partner.
You know that you
people.
can get Beckett at a a good
I think
cheaper than PSA,
my vote is CSG is the one.
I think you go. We talked about, it wasn't that long ago, you talk about Beckett, and they were the industry standard for modern grading. And it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
It was like 3, 4, 5 years ago. Like, if you had a modern card, you sent it to one grading company. You sent it to Beckett. Beckett still is a really, really good name in the grading industry. And definitely cheaper than PSA.
It still has the best slab.
Yeah, I think it was just there was a moment in time during the Pandy that the PSA, it was easier to get 10s than it was to get 9.5s at Beckett.
Look what you got right there. That Buster Posey. That's a Beckett slab.
It's a black label, yeah.
And I think we had a whole segment, maybe a whole show about slabs.
We did.
And that is the best looking one.
No, I don't. I disagree. I used to be Team Beckett, but I am Team PSA now. But maybe we should move on to Noxx.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Beckett, I just saw this kind of come down the pipeline that Beckett has bought a company called Noxx. Noxx, which is essentially, from what I gathered, they're doing a very similarly what like Card Ladder is doing. Essentially, like a card aggregator, collecting data about card sales, players, Slab Stocks does very similar, same thing.
Not a grading company.
Not a grading company.
Good, because it wouldn't. No. I don't think it'd be a great name.
No. And a grading company buying another grading company seems a little redundant as well.
But what about Beckett Magazine? They do their own price guides.
So basically,
analog, and it's analog.
Yeah. Well, the world has moved on.
Have we moved on from print media?
Don't think. Yeah, I think it happened about 20 years ago or so.
I was just wondering why our shop does not have a Beckett graded magazine.
When's the last time you opened a Sunday paper?
Actually, I was gonna contact them so we can get a magazine rack.
But also,
where did those? Could we still get one?
I bet you can get one for free.
Yeah,
you get it from a yard sale or something, or everything must go. But it seems like to kind of go off what we're saying with the QR codes here, it sounds like maybe they're going to integrate something like that possibly, where you got a QR code on your Beckett card, on your BGS graded card, you scan it, you go to this, you put the card, input it in your collection, digital collection, and also it's going to be like a social media of card collecting.
And
so
maybe like a blockchain kind of attached to it, where it's like
I don't know. I didn't.
No, I'm saying it'd be kind of cool. Be like, it's sold and blah 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 at this price. Now it's worth this much, and then this guy sold it at this price.
I don't know if I want people's names attached to what they've sold it for.
No, maybe it doesn't say the name, but it says the amount or something. If it sells.
Or you can always hide behind a username or something like that, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Which I won't say our favorite username. You guys can.
Oh man, no idea. Here we know what it is.
Start with a P.
You guys listen to the show.
I thought it was always started with an F, dude.
Yeah, is it a PH or is it an F? Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Oh, it's PH.
Yeah.
Yep.